So unfortunately, we have got the news that Google is no longer going to be supporting Jamboard, and that puts a lot of our teachers in a bit of a pickle. While Google does have some suggestions on where you can go from Jamboard, as of the making of this video, none of them are compliant with New York State Ed Law 2D, so we're in the jam for sure. One of the hardest things about making this type of transition is you have a ton of files and a ton of work that you've put into one platform, and now we have to move to another. So this video is designed to provide a workflow to help you move from Jamboard to Seesaw. One of the great things about Seesaw is it allows you to import multi-page activities. It also lets you manipulate things very similar to how you did in Jamboard and gives you the ability to just draw on the page. As an added bonus, it can be teacher-driven activities or student-driven activities. So if Seesaw sounds like it might be the right tool for you, let's take a look into how we can convert our Jamboard files into Seesaw activities with the least amount of intrusion to the process. Well, hello everyone. It's Rick Bray with the Plick team at Broomtown Gabosies. And yes, sadly, Google did decide to sunset or retire Jamboard. And so what can we do? Well, this video is going to be a little bit longer than most because it's going to outline the whole process and kind of walk you through it. So you'll notice down in the timeline, down there in YouTube, it's segmented into the different sections that we're doing within this video, as well as in the comments, it gives you the timeline of when that's happening. So let's just dive in and kind of see what we're doing here with the Jamboard. In this case, the jam is designed around number bonds, and for the most part, there are manipulatives and there is some drawing involved. So for this case, Seesaw is going to be the best option to make this transition smoothly. So on the first slide here, I have some, manipulatives where I'm moving things. On the second slide, again, manipulatives where we're dragging definitions, and then some cases where we're drawing in for different values, and then it ends with another manipulative. So the first step, and what makes this kind of easy, is that Seesaw has writing ability in it, and it allows for manipulatives really easily. So let's see how we're going to get this to Seesaw. Step one is to export your jam as a PDF. To do that, you want to open the Jamboard like we have here, click on the three dots in the upper right-hand corner next to the share button, and select the option to download as a PDF. Now, this part, if you're doing this on a Chromebook, it might be just a little bit different, but here I am on a Windows device and it downloads. Where does it download to? Well, it goes to the downloads folder. So let's see, I can get there by double clicking this PC, or if you're more familiar, you can use the File Explorer down in your taskbar. But if I do this PC, I want to find the downloads folder in the device right here on the left-hand side, downloads. And there it is. And I can say I have two copies because I've done this before. So that's where the file goes to on a Windows device, right? So now that I know that, I want to get this back into Google Drive. So what I'll do here, this next part could be a little tricky, but we'll bring up this window. I'm going to open my Google Drive, and here we go. I will go to a folder that I have. We'll do, let's see. Hey, look at that, Jamboard PDF copies. How great. And there are already some examples in there. To upload the file into here, the PDF file that I just downloaded, I can either say, click the new button and say File Upload. And once the File Explorer window comes up, make sure that on the left-hand side over here, when it loads, there we go, the Downloads folder is selected. I can take the number bonds file that I just downloaded and open. So that's one way to do it. Or if you happen to have two screens available, this is a little bit easier. When you have that downloads folder open from this PC or the File Explorer, I can click on it and drag it over to Google Drive. And notice that Google Drive turns blue, and down at the bottom it says drop files to upload them. So boop, I let it go there. And this is showing up because I have two of the same file, but I could either say exist replace the existing or keep both. I'm just going to say cancel because it would just upload and then there it is. Yay. All right, for this next step, let's take a look at how we're going to make this into a Seesaw activity. So the first step is to log into your Seesaw account, and I think you need to bring up a class. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the way that I'm going to do it for this video. So let's jump to that part. All right, so here I am in my Seesaw course, and what I want to do is to create a new activity. And the way that I'll do that is by clicking this add button, this green add button, and selecting create activity or assessment. Now, in this new window that opens, I want to put in a name for it. I'll select number bonds, but I could write that in if I wanted to. But the nice part about Seesaw is this option right here to upload a resource. By uploading that PDF we just downloaded, Seesaw is going to do a lot of the work for us, which is really, really nice. So I'm going to select to upload a resource. Now, you could drag and drop the file into this window. You could just take that PDF that we downloaded and upload it from your computer. But I went through in this process, I uploaded the PDF file to Google Drive just so that way I have the PDF file if I ever need to reference it for anything later. Whereas if it was just on my computer, I may lose access to it. So that was the logic behind putting it in Google Drive. But your mileage may vary and do what works for you. So for this tutorial, I'll select the option here to select from Google Drive. That's going to bring up a pop-up window here. And there are lots and lots of different files because it's looking in my drive. Now you'll notice our number bonds here, but if you look at the icon, that's the Jamboard icon. That's not the one that we want. We want the PDF version. So I could search for it here, or you may notice on the right-hand side of this window is an option for My PDFs. So that's going to take your Google Drive space and just filter for the PDFs that you have and most likely organize them so that the most recent PDF that you interacted with is at the front of the list. And lo and behold, there's ours, right? Number bonds. I could see the little PDF icon for it. So from here, I'm just going to click the blue select button. And now Seesaw is going to do all the hard work for us. And what's great about Seesaw doing all the hard work for us is it's intelligent enough that each of the different pages of the PDF are a different page in Seesaw. The only issue I guess I'm running into is that what were previously my manipulatives are no longer manipulative. So, you could kind of do some different things here. But at a base level, a lot of what you were looking for in this activity was carried over from Jamboard, which is great. Now, the one thing we didn't account for these tools because Jamboard didn't have anything there. So what you may find you need to do is head over to your Jamboard file right over here and take some of these things and move them up. Right, it's a little tricky to do, but it is possible. So now the question becomes, how do I take a page like this first one here, and how do I get these things to be manipulatives again? Well, one thing you could do is you could upload some pictures, right? You could get a picture of the pizza and you could re-upload them if you want, but maybe finding that picture is a little tough or whatever the case may be, and I get it. So here's what we'll do. To recreate this particular manipulative piece, I'm going to add a page down here at the bottom, and then I'm going to slide that page up to the top, right underneath the one that was manipulative. And I can see that I basically what I was looking for, right, was triangles that make up a whole shape. So I'll head over to the three dots and I'm going to say, make a shape and make a triangle for me, right? And now when I do that, I can kind of drag the shape a little bit differently. I can resize it and there it is. And now I want to just continue making these shapes all the way around. So let's see how we do that. So I could try to redraw the triangle, but that could get a little hairy. I want to make the exact same triangle. So I'll select it. I'll click the three little dots down here and say duplicate or duplicate, I guess would be more proper. And I'll slide it over. And now I'm going to use this rotation tool to rotate the triangle to fit. All right, we got to go back just a little bit. There we go, right about there. And then I want to make it a different shape. Now, this may not work out perfectly, but I'm kind of trying to get this done as quick as I can for my students, and I'll make it pretty later. But I want to make a different color, so I'll just select a different color over here on the swath, and then I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to duplicate, I'm going to move it, I'm going to rotate it, and change the color. So I'm going to speed this part of the video up just a wee little bit so that you don't have to sit here and watch this. So here we go. Okay, okie dokie. So again, it's not a perfect match, but trying to just get it done quickly for our students. But the important part of this is now when I use the selecting tool, I can move these manipulatives to again talk about parts and wholes the same way I intended to with my pizza. And I could do it a whole lot differently if I wanted to, but let's get rid of this first slide since it is no longer able to be moved. I mean, you might want to keep it around, but I'm going to click on the three dots and select delete page and say that, yes, I actually do want to delete this page. So now I have my manipulatives. With this one, this is a little bit different because I was dragging these words. So let's take a look at how to make text boxes, if you weren't already aware, inside of Seesaw. I'm going to use the text tool, right? And I'm just going to reshape it here a little bit. We'll make this say part. Alrighty. And I'll drag that over here and I'll use the resizing buttons. Let's see if I can, no, doesn't want to do it that way. So since I can't really cover that up, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a shape and I'm just going to hide that stuff behind the shape. So I'll take this rectangle tool, I'll put it right over here, and then I'll resize it so that it covers up all the stuff, and I'll make it white right about there, right? So that way it hides that stuff. And now I'll take my part and I'm going to change the style a little bit. Let's make it, bigger and centered. That's good. And what the heck? Let's go with newspaper because newspaper is cool. Maybe we'll try making it a different color. So we'll do this one. That's kind of hard to see. Let's do darker green. Yeah, sure. Why not? Right there. And we'll add that hue. I got to move it to the front, right? See how the order's off? So I can click on the three dots and say, bring it to the front. And now it's in front of that white, which is great. To make things a little bit easier, I'll duplicate this, put it here, double click it to edit it, and you guessed it, I'll put the word whole in there, and I'll make that a different color. And now you might have seen, yes, the infinite clone option, right? When I click on those three dots and select infinite clone, that means I can just keep dragging it and not grabbing that. But maybe we'll want to lock that in place, both size and location. That way it can't be moved. But I can keep grabbing onto this term just like I did with that old smart notebook that was so awesome, right? So now that takes care of my draggable text. This is all writing tools. Everything's great. When I get down here, you guessed it, we're going to use the same strategy to create a rectangular shape to cover up the numbers, right? We'll turn it white. We will lock it in place, both the size and the location. And then we'll use the text tool to make the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, however you want to space it, with doing an infinite cloner the same way we did over here. When you're all set, you just want to click this green check and the activity is made. It's in your library. It's ready to be assigned to your students. And there you have it. That is a quick and easy way, if you will, to convert an entire Jamboard activity over to a Seesaw activity.